My time at the Bubble has been a very rich experience. It's been a very varied experience. It's been a demanding role, a challenging role, but it's been a very rewarding role, and it's had its really difficult times and its really beautiful times. There were some sleepless nights on the way. The culture of the Bubble has, in one sense, remained constant, and in one sense has fundamentally changed. The thing that hasn't changed, our culture is about engaging the community with theatre, particularly those people for whom theatre isn't their original natural home, sharing the benefit of participation with them, engaging them in that process. The thing that has changed, it was a male-led organisation. We are now a much more equally led organisation, so it's not a top-down organisation in the way that it was. We have two co-equal chief executives. They're both young, they're both female. We have a female company, a female staff team. We have a much more racially mixed and diverse staff team. The culture has become much more shared responsibility, shared decision making, shared planning. And that's appropriate for the age and right to engage people. I think it's more sensitive as an organisation. I think it's more understanding of the fact that we need to be reflective both at board level, at staff level, with our freelancers, of the communities we serve. The Bubble is a small company. We have a £500,000 turnover at the moment, and we have a small staff team. In many ways, that puts more responsibility on trustees than a bigger organisation. So small organisations are very precious. They need a bit more love and care and attention than big ones. I have several very strong Bubble memories. The staff team have just presented me the wonderful book of photographs reminding me of many of those events over the years, which is just lovely and I will treasure very much. One of the lovely memories was we did a Christmas time pantomime reading here in the room behind me, which was not acted but was read by the team, by trustees and by members of the company and so on. It was just the most rolling around with laughter, enjoying the fun, being together. It was a sort of big family Christmas theatrical event together, like perhaps people used to do in big families in the past. It was just lovely. Looking back, the only regret I think I have, I would have liked to have found one or two or three long-term, serious big donors who could have secured the Bubble, irrespective of what money came from the Arts Council for England, the Greater London Authority, the Mayor of London, the local councils, or whatever. I've still got one person I'm hoping to talk to and persuade in the near future, even though technically it's no longer my responsibility. Looking ahead, I think the biggest challenge for my successor and his team is to give us a better financial security for the medium long term. And anybody who's watching this, if you want to write your legacy now, you write your will now, or give that spare cash that you don't want the government to have, and of course giving it to charity, you can gift aid and things. I mean, the Bubble is a brilliant place to give any spare cash that you have or any spare funding you have, and it will be well used. The new chair, he and I met and had long conversations as a sort of handover, which I hope has been helpful. I come with knowledge of this community. He doesn't live in this community, and therefore one of the things I wanted to share with him was my knowledge of the history of the Bubble, and then answer his questions that he's naturally had about funding and finance and structure. And my one bit of advice would be collect the wisdom and the ideas from the staff team and from the other board members as quickly as possible to get the maximum pool in which he can fish, or the Bubble can fish, for ideas. Good boards, good leadership is not one person leading it and saying this is the way we go and you all follow. Good leadership is making sure that you draw on the skills and experience and views of your trustee team, and make sure that when you make decisions you've taken into account their thoughts, their ideas, their aspirations, their ambitions, their concerns. And one thing he won't need my advice on, because he'll do it anyway, don't be afraid to knock on any doors or pick up the phone to anybody who you think might be able and willing to help us. We've had challenging times financially, we have challenging times during COVID, we have challenging times when we have to change from somebody who'd been running the company for 30 years to his successors. But we've managed to keep the board united in all that time. I've learned that externally recruited boards, properly appointed boards, and then regularly engaged boards are the way to have a successful board. I love the board very much. I think it's had a great 50 years. The fundamental motivation to be a company that uses theatre to help people get to know themselves better, to be part of the community better, to relate to their neighbours, their friends, their families better, and to give them that self-confidence. That's absolutely what it's about, and why I have loved being part of it and will not disappear from being a supporter in the days ahead.